Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Star Trek Voyager Season 2, Episode 22, Innocence. Oh, this episode was a little rough for me. I just couldn't get into it, and it had such a big build-up, and then by the time we get to the end, it's just oh, that's it, bye. And I was like, wait, what? That's it? So Tuvok has crashed on this planet, and it's kind of a touching moment where, the crew member that he's with has died, and so he's all alone. And then these three kids show up, and one of them's played by Taj Mori, who's kind of cool. He's some of you who grew up in the '90s. He was in Full House, and he's the brother of Sister and smart guy. Even Kim Possible. He's a great actor. And so Tuvok is with these three kids, and they're like, there's monsters, and we're all gonna die, and they took some kids already. And Tuvok's like, how did you even get here? And so most of the episode is about Tuvok with these kids, and although there's not a lot of depth to it, it's more of a character episode with Tuvok and seeing these children. In the meantime, Voyager has made first contact with this species that's very, very secretive, and Janeway's showing the woman around the ship, and she's like, this is our warp core and this is our engineering. And she's like, oh, it's interesting that you took me here because you think technology is more important than people. And you could just see Janeway be like, seriously? That's what you got out of this? And then of course the woman basically says no, she doesn't want anything to do with the Federation, and leaves. Well, as Janeway gets closer to finding out where Tuvok is, some more drama goes down between the two. And Janeway and Paris end up taking a shuttle down to the planet to find Tuvok, because Tuvok won't leave without these children. And at this point, two more of them have disappeared. So it's just Tuvok and one little girl. And so Janeway gets there and Paris gets there, and the other people from this race get there, and they're like, you need to leave her alone, you don't understand our customs. And the little girl's talking to Tuvok don't let them take me. And to finally just jump to the end, I'm boiling this episode way down because, like I said, I didn't think it was that great. It turns out that this race actually ages backwards, and that this little girl is 94 years old, and when they get to a certain age, they're basically put out to pasture to die, and the kids are just put in this jungle and have to fend for themselves, and then they end up just kind of de-aging and dying. And it's really sad, but it's kind of interesting. And then the episode ends with Tuvok basically staying with this little girl while she finally goes into the last moments. Now, this is not the first time that we've seen de-aging in Star Trek. The animated series had the main crew with Kirk and them de-aging. Overall, like I said, I feel like the story had a lot more potential that it could have gone with, but overall, it just kind of got lost for me. I didn't think it was as good as it could have been. For those who have seen this one, what did you think about what did you think about Taj Mori for one? I love it when I see guest stars of especially when they're younger and knowing how they are when they're more famous. So what did you think about seeing him? And then what did you think about this episode overall with Tuvok and the kids and the de-aging process? Go ahead, let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for everything, and I will see you guys next time for Thaw.